Right. We're starting today's video on a well-odd start. Now, I love cars, right? And I'm always really careful. My Lexus, my glorious GS300, just crashed it into my wall. Now, I know this, we know the fate of this car. That doesn't make it okay, because I hate it when stuff like this happens. I literally have just reversed into this wall. And look what I've done. Let me just get out of the way. I've just scratched the rear bumper. Now, I know it sounds really silly because, again, if you watched recent content, especially on the Cadillac, you'll know full well where this car is going, but I didn't want to do that today because I love these cars. I love this car. It's my favourite car I've bought in recent months, so damn it. Anyway, guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we are very, very busy today. And I've got no petrol. Of course I haven't. Why would I have any petrol in my car? But we're going to get on. Let's go to the petrol station. We need to go get George from the garage. Let's see what cars are about today as well. Fingers crossed I don't crash into a wall again. That'd be really nice. So guess what I just did on the way here, Dan? Crashed into my wall. Because that's what you do when you're rushing, don't you? You crash into the frigging wall on the way here. Yeah, I know. Oh my god, that's a good point. Would you like to see it? It's not as bad as it should be, but I love this car and it's not even fair that I just did that. It's not like this bit that's already rusty. It's here. I know it doesn't look bad, but it cuts me deep. Real deep that I just did that.
Oh, animal.
I know, right?
Animal.
I can't believe myself sometimes.
You call you're a car man?
Yeah, apparently I am, and apparently I just reverse into stuff randomly.
That's an abusive relationship.
It's a very abusive relationship. I'm so sorry, and everybody knows that the fate of the car now, so I feel even worse. Sorry. Shuts. Go on. Yes. Maybe. Yeah.
I've also just found out, I don't know how this has happened, as we crashed into the wall, that the 300, it's on its way off, so I mean, we might have to super glue that back on. Shows how much force I went into the wall with, doesn't it?
Now I'm going to be the first one to admit, this is probably not something a lot of people are going to be interested in, but the Mark V Golf GTI. Now, when I was younger guy, I had a 1.6, couldn't afford the GTI, so the GTI was always the car that I wanted, and a black two-door with relatively subtle mods, you know, nothing too crazy, with full leather, right? So full leather, and the DSG variant of this generation. Whether it's DSG or not is another matter. I mean, DSG has come a long way. This is pretty much the car I wanted and could not afford when I was a lot younger. And in fact, I even feel like today, in 2023, these still look really good. They look really contemporary. This one even has the projector headlights on the front of it. I know it's something that a lot of people on this channel probably wouldn't be interested in, but I love the Mark V Golf GTI and I would love to own one. I am one of the people that always look at the cheapest ones in the world, the cheapest ones for sale in the UK. It's still such a lovely car. And one day maybe we'll get one. If anybody has one really cheap and they would like to sell it to me for the channel to maybe build into something really cool, let me know. But black, I remember even buying the GTI front bumper off eBay, putting it on mine, the GTI side skirts, just everything. It was never a GTI though. One day, eh? Good. What, a nail bar? Nails. Shout out to Kitchen London House. We just had a lovely conversation about Suzuki Ballinos. Shout out to the Bellino if you know what that is. It's just a good day out. Anyway, we're gonna have some sandwiches because we like sandwiches. Look at that Lexus as well with the wheel turn. It's just such. Look at that Lexus with the wheel turn. What a flex! In Ventnor, does it get any better? No, it doesn't. Because sandwiches are on board as well. So what a flex. The Lexus is the flex you never knew was a flex. It's just the flex that no one's ever noticed. Oh yeah, stop it. Oh. Stop it. Honestly, the zoom on that then. Unreal. Bow chicka wow wow. So we just parked up, right? I've just looked at this. What do you reckon? The Nissan Micra wheel, you can't see it. The Nissan, oh god, the car's turned off. The Nissan Micra wheel, I know Nissans and GTRs and stuff, Doesn't that look like a GTR wheel, just smaller? Now you're going to look at micros and realise that they are just the same wheel, but smaller. Yep. And just like that, we are back in the office. And as I sit down, I don't know if a lot of people watched one of the recent videos, and you have got to this point in this video. Thank you so much for coming along today and just experiencing a day with me just, you know, flying around, getting cars, doing whatever is happening. Yeah, I didn't really explain more on social media and more on the channel, so I thought I'd sort of explain what's happening now, because I feel like a lot of people out there need to know what's happening with various cars, especially on this channel, because I have a sort of track record of sometimes selling stuff if I don't like it, if it's not performing well on the channel, stuff like that. But I try and always keep you guys updated with what's happening, and I am currently looking for a new daily driver. Maybe something that we can, you know, feature on the channel, something that I can just get my kids to school in, preferably a 4-door automatic. I'm not too sure what I actually want and what's in the market. I'd like to buy something relatively cheap so we could sort of do it up for the channel and sort of experience together, see what a different platform maybe is like, and something that I maybe haven't had before, which is what I used to do way before YouTube, is just sort of say, yes, I want to buy one of these, and I find the cheapest one, and I experience that chassis for 6 months to a year, and then sort of move on. And I've done that a lot in the past on this channel, but not necessarily as daily drivers. It's always been sort of a different car that I maybe have parked on a driveway or whatever, but this time around I want to do sort of a daily driver. But if you haven't already guessed, and if you didn't watch the last Cadillac video, the Lexus, the GS300, the one that you've seen in this video, the one you've seen me driving around, the one you've seen me with on social media, the car is about 80 miles away from 200,000 miles, and a great milestone for the car, but it does mean that just after that, once the ramp is free at Advanced Automotive, the engine's coming out. Now, if you'd watched the last Cadillac video, you'll know full well that that's happening already, but the Cadillac build with the 2JZ Mark IV GE engine from a manual Toyota Supra, it just isn't going to work. It's going to cost too much money to actually get that engine running and driving, because it isn't a proven engine whatsoever. We need to run a standalone for the manual engine into an automatic gearbox, and then probably another standalone just to make it work. So the best thing to do would be to sell that engine as is, so someone can build it up and put it maybe back in a Mark IV Supra with a manual box, and then I take out the engine that's in my GS300 and actually put it into my Cadillac. And what we've basically done is mocked up everything that end. But again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go back and have a look at the video. So yeah, unfortunately my daily driver is going to be sacrificed for another project, which is fine, and I, you know, appreciate that's the right thing to do. It just is still a little bit sad because I've become to bond with the Lexus quite a lot, and if there is a chance to buy another Lexus, yes, and if there's a Mark III, yes. But if anybody has got anything out there, hit me up. I am well up for buying something off a subscriber and maybe doing up for the channel. We will see. And let me know below, what daily drivers that are relatively cheap at the moment would you recommend? But thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you later on.